Alright, y'all. So this practice starts out in child's pose, which is one of my favorite poses. You just keep the hips back in line with the heels, or as close to that as possible. You can let the arms extend out in front of you, or you can let the arms come down by your sides with the hands resting by your hips. And just take a few breaths here, sort of assessing yourself, finding a way to be present here on your mat. Then let the arms extend out in front of you and roll up onto your hands and knees. Drop the belly down, drop the heart down, lift the gaze up, and then curl the spine, press into the hands, coming into cat-cow pose. So you're just alternating between those, dropping the belly down, dropping the heart down, then lifting the gaze up, and then curling the spine, pressing into the hands and knees. You just take that a few times at your leisure. Then walk the arms out in front of you. Keep the hips back in line with the knees. Let the heart and the chest, the belly, the throat, everything melts down to the ground. Just taking a little shoulder opener and extended puppy pose. Then roll up back onto your hands and knees, drop onto your forearms, under, lift the hips up, come into dolphin pose, then extend the arms straight, come into downward facing dog. And bend the knees back and forth, just shaking out your head and your neck. Bring the right leg up into the air, step it up to meet your hands so you come into a high lunge pose. The hands can come onto blocks, and you're just shifting back and forth here, working out your psoas muscle. Bring the left leg up into the air, open up your hip, bend the knee, then extend the left leg straight, step it up to meet your hands, bring the hands onto your thigh so that you take that high lunge again, step back into downward facing dog, then walk your hands back to meet your feet so that you're in a standing forward fold. This is Uttanasana. Standing forward fold. And I like to take a shoulder opener here, interlace the fingers behind the back, and then shimmy the shoulders down toward the ground. You can shake out your head and your neck here too. Just working out your shoulders. They take a lot during the day, and there's a lot of gunk that gets stuck in your shoulder blades. Then you can take your right hand down to the ground. Use that to roll the left shoulder open, bring the left arm up into the air. Just taking a little twist here, a little half moon twist. Then drop the arms down to the ground. Left hand comes down to the ground, right arm comes up, so you get it on the other side. Everything always nice and balanced and even in yoga, always looking for balance. Put a little bend in the knees eventually, and then gently roll up to stand, head stacks on top last. And then when you're ready, make your way up to the top of the mat. You just take a breath here to start with the palms together in Anjali Mudra, and then when you're ready, bring the arms up and overhead. The gaze comes up to meet you. Exhale into that forward fold shape again. Inhale, lengthen through the spine of the chest. Exhale, plant the hands. Step your right leg back. Bring your hands down onto blocks. Here we go with our high lunge pose again. So you're rolling the shoulders open, walking the blocks back, coming into this really deep lunge, just breathing into the shape, breathing into your pelvis. Then step back, downward facing dog. Then when you're ready, bring the other leg up into the air, step it up to meet your hands. Let's take that high lunge again. So you bring the hands onto blocks. You can walk the blocks back further, which helps you sit up in your pelvic bowl. And then you can bring the arms in the air if you want, then step back. Downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths, then step your left leg up to meet your hands. Cartwheel the arms open, spin your back heel so it's parallel with the back edge of your mat, and cartwheel the arms up into warrior two pose. So the front foot should be parallel with the side of your mat, and then you can just drop your back arm down the back leg coming into reverse warrior, then cartwheel it through, come into triangle pose so that you're drawing the opposite hip back, the top arm comes up, the bottom hand can be on a block, and you're pressing into that front big toe. You might roll in on the back foot, that's cool, and then spin yourself into Prasarita Padottanasana. This is a wide-legged forward fold, a wide-legged straddle. Walk your way over to the left, cartwheel the arms up for warrior two, facing the opposite side. Trying to line up your front ankle and your front heel. The back foot should be pressing into the back edge of the foot. Then go ahead, drop that through, come into triangle pose again, this side. So the bottom hand comes onto a block. Top arm comes up into the air. You're trying to stack the shoulders on top of one another, and you can breathe, you can look down, you can look up, whatever you like. Then walk yourself back into that wide-legged forward fold, inhaling and exhaling, each breath bringing you a little bit deeper into the fold. And you can even take your head onto a block, hook your big toes, relax the shoulders down. Walk yourself over to the right, drop the back knee down and come into a low lunge, a nice deep lunge. The arms come up, the back knee is down on the ground, and you're just chilling here. Your heart starts to open up, it pumps up to the sky. Then drop the hands down, step back, high plank, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Bring the opposite leg up into the air, step it up to meet your hands, drop the back knee down to the ground. Let's take that low lunge again. The arms come up. You're creating an offering in the heart. It's your pelvic bowl is sinking down to the ground. Then drop the hands down to the ground, step back, high plank. Knees, chest, chin, chaturanga, upward facing dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Then drop down to your knees, draw the hips back and come into child's pose and just chill.